The bass thumped like a heartbeat gone wild, vibrating through the crowded loft in Brooklyn's underbelly, where sweat and cheap whiskey hung thick in the air like regret you could taste. I stood there, nursing a lukewarm beer, my tie loosened just enough to scream, "I'm one of you," without actually saying it. 28 years of this charade. And tonight, it cracked wide open. Because across the room, under the flicker of Edison bulbs strung like desperate stars, he looked at me. Not with pity or polite disinterest, but with eyes that stripped me bare, hungry, knowing. And God, I wanted to run. Or dive in. Or both. My name's Alex Harper. And I'd built my life on lies so seamless they felt like truth. Software engineer by day, crunching code in a glass tower overlooking the Hudson, where the only color was the blue of my boss's recycled jokes about weekend conquests. Straight? They assumed. Engaged once. Even. To Sarah from accounting, sweet girl. All cardigans and kale smoothies. We lasted 6 months before I bailed. Blaming work stress. Truth? Every time she leaned in, her perfume choked me like smoke from a fire I wasn't ready to put out. The fire inside me, the one that burned for men in quiet moments when the city slept and my apartment echoed with silence. I'd shove it down. Date apps swiped left on anyone who pinged that radar. Family dinners where mom beamed about grandkids I'd never give her. Pretending was survival. Until Jordan Ellis. He moved through the party like he owned the chaos. 30? All lean muscle and ink-sleeved arms that told stories of bad decisions and better nights. Bartender at some dive in the village. The kind with sticky floors and jukebox blues that made you spill your secrets. American through and through. Born in the Rust Belt heart of Ohio. Transplanted to this concrete jungle chasing art that paid in exposure and empty promises. His laugh cut through the din first, low and gravelly, pulling me like a riptide. Then his gaze locked on mine, green eyes sparking under tousled blonde waves that begged to be tugged. He sauntered over, beer in hand, smelling of cedar cologne and faint cigarette smoke. The kind that clings to leather jackets like a lover's whisper. "You look like you're plotting an escape," he said. Voice smooth as the bourbon he poured for strangers. Leaning close enough that his breath ghosted my ear. Mint and mischief. I swallowed hard. The room tilting. Maybe I am. This party's loud. Dimples carving shadows in the stubble along his jaw. Loud's good. Means you're alive. His fingers brushed mine as he clinked bottles. Electric jolt shooting up my arm. No accident. No pulling away. To talk, or rather, to pulling stories from me like threads from a fraying seam. My code-breaking marathons that left me hollow. His sketches on napkins. Dreams of a gallery show that never came. The city outside. Horns blaring like impatient lovers. Rain starting to patter against the loft's warehouse windows. Laughter bubbled up. Real for once. Not the forced chuckle at office happy hours. His hand on my knee under the crowded couch. Thumb tracing lazy circles. Heat pooling low in my gut. My pulse thundered, drowning the music. Then, somehow, we were outside, the downpour soaking us through in seconds. Laughing like idiots, we dashed to his place, a walk-up in Bushwick, stairs creaking underfoot, walls plastered with half-finished canvases that screamed his soul. Water dripped from our hair, pooling on the scarred hardwood. He flicked on a lamp, amber glow spilling over us, and there it was, the pause. Heavy. Sure. My heart hammered, chest tight as if the air had thinned. "Alex," he murmured, stepping closer. towel forgotten in his hand. His fingers grazed my jaw, tilting my face up. You don't have to pretend. Not here. The dam broke. I surged forward, crashing into him, lips desperate against his, salt and rain and relief. His arms wrapped around me, strong and sure, pulling me flush as the world narrowed to this, his mouth hot and insistent, tongue teasing mine in a rhythm that made my knees buckle. We stumbled to the bed, clothes shedding like old skin, my shirt yanked over my head. His jeans kicked aside with a thud. Skin on skin. Finally. His hands mapped me. Reverent? Tracing the dip of my spine, the curve of my hip, drawing gasps I couldn't stifle. Good. You're beautiful, he whispered, voice rough, burying his face in my neck, teeth grazing just enough to spark fire. We moved together, urgent and unhurried all at once, the mattress dipping under us like an anchor in the storm. His breath hitched against my ear, low moans vibrating through me as I arched into him, fingers digging into his back, nails leaving crescent trails. Sweats tangled. The room filled with our sounds, sharp inhales, the wet slide of bodies, the creak of springs protesting our frenzy. Climax hit like thunder, ripping through me in waves. His name a broken prayer on my lips as he followed, buttering, holding me like I'd shatter if he let go. We lay there, chest heaving, the rain a soft drum against the window. His head on my chest, fingers idly stroking my side. Stay, he said. Not a question. Vulnerability cracked his voice, raw as the tattoos peeking from under the sheet. I wanted to. Good. I did. But dawn crept in, gray light filtering through blinds, mocking the night. Panic clawed up, texts from Sarah's ghost. Mom's voicemails about Sunday brunch. The office mirror where I'd practiced straight guy smiles. I slipped out while he slept, leaving a note on his nightstand. Last night was everything. I'm scared. Coward. The subway ride home blurred. City waking to another grind. My reflection in the grimy window a stranger's, flushed cheeks, swollen lips, eyes alive for the first time. Days bled into weeks. Code wouldn't compile, errors mocking my fractured focus. I ghosted friends, dodged calls, replayed that night in fevered loops, his taste, his weight pinning me, the way he saw me. Pretending amplified. A noose tightening, forced date with a coworker, her laughter grating like nails on glass. Until the breaking point, family dinner in Jersey. Dad's backslap too hard. Mom's, when you settling down. Sun, hanging like smoke. I bolted to the bathroom, retching into the sink, the porcelain cold against my palms. Staring at my reflection, I saw it, the lie rotting me from inside. I found Jordan at his bar that night, the village alive with neon and laughter, jazz spilling from open doors. He looked up from polishing glasses, surprise flickering before warmth bloomed. You came back, not pretending anymore. Words tumbled out, jagged. The whole mess years buried, the fear of losing everything. He listened, leaning across the scarred oak counter, his hand covering mine when tears burned hot. I get it, he said softly, thumb brushing my knuckles. But hiding? That's the real killer. We talked till closing. Rain-slick streets leading us back to his place. This time, no frenzy, just slow, deliberate touches, mapping scars both seen and unseen. His lips on my collarbone, breath warm. You're enough, he whispered, as I trembled beneath him, walls crumbling. We built something then, Tentative but true, mornings with coffee black and strong. His sketches of us tangled in sheets. My hand in his at a quiet diner where no one stared. Months later. Rooftop at dawn. The city stretching endless below. His arms around me. Chin on my shoulder. The Hudson glittering like promise. That night, he murmured. Lips brushing my ear. It changed me too. Made me believe in second chances. Earned. Kissing him deep. The sun cresting warm on our skin. No more pretending. Just as thought. Just free. And in that light, everything felt possible.